Hello. I'm going to plant a tree this morning, and I'm actually planting an unusual tree. It's called a Nashiki Willow or a dappled willow, and it's a grafted standard. It's grafted onto an osseous willow, and then it's grafted up here. And what it's going to do, it's going to grow into a lovely big fat round ball, and it's going to be pink in spring, and then pink and white through summer, and turning a little bit more green in the autumn. And I'm planting it here. This is actually my son's house, and I thought this would be fun, a fun kind of tree. It's a nice hardy tree that's also, when it grows, it'll grow very quickly, and it'll be a bit of fun for the kids to have a kind of an interesting, nice, different looking tree. Step one is we're in the lawn here, and what most people do is trees hate grass. They don't go together at all well, so I'm going to dig a nice big circle in the grass, and have no grass near the tree, and the tree will take off and grow beautifully. So I'll start with cutting a circle in the grass. Now, hi, what I've done here, I don't know if you can see it, but I've cut my circle with a spade, and I've used a stainless steel spade, and that's nice and easy for cutting a circle. Now I'm going to dig my hole for planting my tree, but I'm not going to use a spade, and the reason is that spades are hard work. Now I have lots of Indian people working in my nursery, and when I first started having Indian workers working for me, they refused to use shovels and spades, and they'd bring their own digging tool to work, and it looks like this. And I started to use this, and I can't use a spade or a shovel now to dig a serious hole, because look at this. What happens, you use less physical energy. And I'm cutting this grass out, and I'm going to take it and put it on the compost heap, because it's got lots of sort of coochie old weed in it, and I'll replace that with some new stuff. But look how easy it is to dig with this compared to a shovel or a spade. Hi, now I've dug my hole. Have a look here. There's my hole, with the help of my fabulous Indian digging tool. I don't even know what it's called, but it's a fabulous tool. And now the next step is I'm going to put in the bottom of the hole, I'm going to put a good big dose of soil wetter. And then what I'm going to do, see what's important, people often plant a plant dry, or plant into a hole, the lawn has dried this out, and it's quite a dry bit of soil here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some water in the bottom of that hole, and we're going to water our plant as well. So here we are. First we'll get some. So soil wetter in the bottom of the hole. Soil wetter in the bottom of the hole makes the ground moist down deep underneath, and encourages the roots to go down. And it also improves drainage. So even in the winter when you're planting a plant, I'd put soil wetter in the bottom of the hole. Now I'm going to give this a really good soak. People, when they plant dry plants, often surround them with their other soil, and the water, without soil wetter, the water doesn't conduct, and a plant can often stay dry even though you're watering it. So it's very important that when the plant goes in the hole, the plant is really nice and wet. We're going to mix some potting mix in the bottom of the hole. And I don't like to use all new soil. I like to use a mix of soils. So I'll mix the parent soil with the potting mix and get a really nice mix in there. Now I don't disturb the roots. Teasing of the roots is rather an old-fashioned idea. Nurserymen used to have the plants lying around in their nurseries for years before they sold them. This plant
Like and follow for part 3.
Notice I take the plant straight out of the pot, and without teasing the roots, I pop it straight in. Because these days nurseries have much higher turnovers. In the old days you used to have to tease the roots because the plant had probably been grown in an old jam tin or something for 50 years and it was half buggered. But these days, this plant here came into our nursery about a week ago and it's going out again already, and it's lovely and fresh. It would not like to have its roots teased, so we're not going to tease the roots. And then we start putting a mixture of the parent soil and our potting mix around the tree. Now I've almost finished planting this plant, but what we've done is we've cut out a nice big circle in the lawn so that the grass doesn't inhibit the growth of the tree. We've dug a nice big deep hole, much deeper than what was needed to fit the pot in, and I put a mixture of potting. I put soil wetter underneath, right at the bottom of it, so that the moisture can penetrate down deep under the tree. And then I've put a mixture of potting mix and parent soil, probably around a 50-50 mix of potting mix and parent soil underneath the tree, because people don't realise trees aren't just looking for water. The number one thing that a tree root is looking for is oxygen. And by putting loose soil all around it, you're helping the oxygen flow to the plant because it's nice and loose and airy. So by mixing the potting mix with the parent soil, we're going to have plenty of oxygen flow. And then you'll notice that here's the lawn, and this is mounded up a little bit, and lifting it up high helps with oxygen flow and helps with the drainage. Now to finish this off, what we're going to do is we're going to put a nice dose of soil wet around the top. I'm going to use about this much, a nice handful. There's different soil wetters. You can use liquid soil wetters, but with a nice handful of soil wet around the top. And this is going to, nice bit of soil wet around the top. And then some slow release fertilizer. Slow release fertilizer is good because you don't get too much food at once. Like the non-slow release stuff can give them a shock with too much fertilizer at once. But this slow release stuff here will slowly feed into the roots over the next couple of months. So it'll have fertilizer every day for the next couple of months. And now, last of all,
like and follow for part 4.
The other thing I didn't mention is so that the water goes straight into this tree. Not only have I put soil wetter on top, but I've also, and you can't put too much water on at once, but what I've done is I haven't put any soil on top of the root ball. So this right here is the top of this is the potting mix the pot came in. This is it here. You can see some of the roots here. So I've buried up nice and shallow. So that means that any rain or any irrigation goes directly onto the tree because the tree hasn't got an established root system. And if you put clay or soil over the top of that, the water tends to run away and run off and it doesn't get the water. And what this tree actually needs now is a nice slow deep drink. So what I'm going to do is turn this down to a little drip, put it on top of the root ball here. There's just a little drip, and leave it for an hour or so, and that'll get it nice and wet. So we've wet the tree, we've wet the hole, and now we're wetting the whole thing. And this tree
Thanks for watching, and like and follow for more.